awoke to the sound of screaming and ran out to see a man had stabbed one of the passengers. He had that same dark faded face as Emily and kept asking us to join them forever in torment. The guy he stabbed began to pulsate and move uncontrollably. I heard the snapping of bone, and his face began to fade. It was an awful sight. He then stood up asking his wife and son to join him so they could be complete. So picked up a piece of wood and stabbed the guy right through the head. He then proceeded to fade out into the mist almost as though he was part of it. It seems that engines are the only things that have been affected. We also saw that during the night the guards on duty were ambushed by these birds or maybe even pterodactyl-like creatures. What the hell even is this thing? We decided the best plan was to keep going down the line and try to find Gordon, Percy, or anyone else. God, I hope we don't run into any more of those things. When we neared Gordon's Hill, we decided to check the express coaches that were derailed, and we realized there was a brake coach. Did Gordon lose at this train? I mean, he must have. He didn't have a brake coach yesterday. We didn't know how these coaches had gotten here, as they weren't here when we had originally gone up. We decided it was best to leave them be and keep going. While heading down Gordon's Hill, we were shocked to find a little old engine. He was damaged, broken, and he was almost out of coal. But the number 2 on his tender told us everything. He didn't say anything. He groaned in pain as he kept backing away from us. This whole thing must have taken a toll. And we made it to Marin, where we had originally seen Emily. We put Edward and James into a siding where Edward finally spoke. Apparently this all started about a month ago when that new research facility was built to research Sodor's past and recently found artifacts. Thomas was sent to help at the facility for a while till Topham could get a permanent engine. While doing so, Thomas began to act different. He was always worrying and being clumsy. That was until the day it all went wrong. And 2 weeks ago the facility had been doing strange experiments that were yet unknown, during which Edward took a goods train to the facility where he talked to Thomas.
I don't like it here, Edward. Why is that, Thomas? Well, it's just I kept seeing these weird experiments going on.
But then strange noises were heard within the facility. The people within began to scream, and a massive roar echoed throughout the yard, and the fog sirens blared as the mist leaked out of the facility and spread all over Sodor. Edward tried to run, but the heavy train held him back. Thomas tried to help, but Edward told him to run. Edward slowly moved, and when he finally got a grip, he saw Murderch heading right towards the facility. Murderch hasn't been seen since. Some engines were transformed into horrible monsters, while others were lucky enough to be spared. Edward began to cry, asking why out of everybody he was spared. We didn't believe him and told him the mist never leaked from the facility and there never was a massive roar and that everything was fine until yesterday when we were at Knapford with him. Edward stared at us with confusion. Knapford? I haven't been to Knapford in over a week. I don't know what to think anymore. He claims that the facility is the cause of this and that he wasn't at Knapford, but I've witnessed the exact opposite. The old engine has no hope, but James and the passengers who stayed with us believe it will be okay.